Hey everybody, Jeremy here, and this video is a first for me because this is the first time that I have ever purchased something that is Marvel Legends related. Out of all the action figures, all the collectibles that I have never purchased a Marvel Legends figure before until today. So what you're seeing in front of you is the Toys R Us exclusive Marvel Legends Avengers 3-pack, which includes Agent Coulson, Nick Fury, and Maria Hill. Now, of course, this is based off of the first Avengers movie. And the reason why I got this is because, well, for one, I think that Toys R Us is going to be phasing this out soon. This is a Toys R Us exclusive. The price used to be around, I believe, $50 or so, but now it's been discounted to a mere $30. And I am also seeing these sort of go away from the store shelves. They're there one day and literally they're not there the next day. And I don't think people are buying them anymore. This has been out for quite a while, so it's not new. But since it was only $30, which only amounts to about $3 per figure, I figured it is time to try it. Now, the reason why I have not purchased anything Marvel Legends related and have instead gravitated more towards Marvel Select is mostly because of price. These figures by themselves tend to cost at least $20. In some places they can cost more. And to me, for $20, I know that they're very well articulated, but due to some inconsistencies when it comes to paint and when it comes to the reuse of molds, when I see a Marvel Select figure that has limited articulation but have unique molds and better paint at a larger scale, that's just what I like personally. But who knows? Maybe these three Marvel Legend figures will change my mind. Let's swing this over on the back. And you see that you have little short biographies of Agent Coulson, Nick Fury, and Maria Hill there on the back. It is a pretty nice box, but it is time for me to dive in and get my first taste of Marvel Legends. After spending a little bit of time with these figures, here are my first impressions of Marvel Legends. I know a lot of people really love this line. They love the articulation. They love the wide variety of characters that you can get. And I totally can understand where they're coming from. And in my first impressions, I was very impressed. I can start here with this Nick Fury figure, and that head sculpt is pretty much dead on Samuel L. Jackson. I really like the way that this looks. I love the trench coat. I love the black on black. I love the shiny boots. It just really screams, yo, this is Nick Fury. But then again, I'm coming into this kind of ignorant because I realized that this is the exact same body mold that was used on at least one other figure, more specifically the Red Skull. All they really did was make some slight variations to paint and pop Nick Fury's head on it. Other than that, it's the same pose. It's the same everything. And that's one of the things that always hung me up about Marvel Legends was the constant reuse of molds. I kind of don't want to look at figures on my shelf and say, all 5 of these have the same body mold, but the head is different and the paint is slightly different. But then again, I'm still looking at $80 to $100 worth of figures on my shelf, and they're not all that different from each other. That's one thing that I just cannot get over. Moving on to this Maria Hill figure here, I also think she's pretty cool. The articulation on her is not as great as it is on some of the other characters that I have seen in the Marvel Legends line, and I do think it's a shame that they've actually molded the guns to her holsters as opposed to giving her a couple of guns for herself. I understand that this set does come with 2 guns, and Nick Fury can hold one, and she can hold the other, but if you wanted to give Nick Fury one gun in his hand and another gun to holster, then that means that old Maria Hill is left unarmed. Now that being said, I don't know if this particular body mold was taken from another character at some other point in time, but I still do think that it's pretty neat. She's not as easy to pose as I would like since she has a heel that kind of goes up on the back of her feet, but it's alright. Not completely thrilled with it and not completely disappointed with it. And that brings us to good old Agent Coulson here. And I'm a huge fan of Agent Coulson. I love Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And he is one of the characters that I want to have quite a few figures of. The Funko Pop of him by himself and the one with his flying car Lola. And this guy has a lot of really great articulation. I love this pose that I managed to get him in with him holding this really huge gun. I'm not too sure what they called that in the movie, but I love the fact that I was able to do this with him. And I really like the head sculpt as well. Not too sure if that's a constant thing with Marvel Legends to have really nice head sculpts for the price that you're paying for them, but I love the fact that he has this little smirk on his face. It looks quite authentic. And also, the one with the glasses, that's also a very good look for him. For the $30 that I paid for him and these other two, I gotta say, I think that that's a pretty good deal, pretty good value for the money. If I had purchased these guys when they were brand new for around $50 or more, I don't think I would have been that happy with it, especially if I came from the world of Marvel Legends already and I already knew some of the tricks that were used when it comes to creating new characters using old molds and things like that. And because of that, I don't think that I'm really going to be purchasing many more of these Marvel Legends characters, at least not until the new 12-inch Marvel Legends figures come out sometime later on this year. I just don't feel like I'm getting enough for the $20 that I'll spend for these guys. Yeah, articulation is nice and all, but when I consider all the other compromises that I have to put up with in order to get the figures, I think I would rather stick with something like Marvel Select. So I think that's the direction that I'm going to be going now. Maybe if they switch things up a little bit and they continue to improve on the Marvel Legends product, I'll give it another go in the future. But until then, unless I find these guys on sale, I'm afraid I am going to have to pass. So that's my feelings about Marvel Legends. Let me know what you think about Marvel Legends here in the comments. Keep it nice and civil. We're all nice people here. And until next time, I'm Jeremy, and I will talk to you later.